survival mode. I wanted to make a quick video on survivor mode. Um, all of my life, not complaining, I'm sharing this because of, well, you'll see. All of my life, I've had to deal with what you would call emotional illness. I've had to deal with swells and cycling of emotions that would lead me to cry hysterically, sometimes for hours, sometimes be, barely able to function, for months. And sometimes this would go on frequently, like for years, with little breaks. I remember one of the worst years of my life was 2005, 2006. My God, it could never get that bad. And this is what I've been through as a child of God. And this year was especially, it was worse than 2005, 2006. And not just that, and I'm not complaining or anything, but my picture is boy, in the years I'd suffered, I'd always had my family, and in this season, for 7 years now, I haven't had them. I've lost them. This year, I lost my dog of 14 years, and I'd never suffered, having suffered all my life of 48 years with emotional illness that would leave me barely hanging on, sometimes disassociated, sometimes with such hysterical anxiety I could just barely stay, conscious. And as a young man, I used to try to suicide, and I don't recommend that. But I'm just saying, as a young man, I didn't know how to handle this at first, and it wasn't until I was born again and had a walk with Christ outside of church, your own personal relationship with Jesus Christ within you, and unlocking and birthing that seed you already have that you just need to claim right to. And it wasn't until I was born again of the Spirit. I mean, the Lord told me He wouldn't take it away, that I'm made perfect in weakness. But He gave me a little bit extra portion when I was born again to strive. I became driven to do whatever I can productively with my time, and willing to grow in any direction. And for 10 years, it's been my walk. And it's especially bad right now, okay? So I want to validate that for everyone. The energy out there is especially bad. And me particularly, I'm alone through it. And there had been chapters where there had been some uncontrollable weeping and everything, but I just want to rate it on my scale, letting you know that I've kind of dealt with some heavy stuff in my lifetime, and none so much as heavy as this time. So what I want to do is kind of give you some advice on how to, as one good friend had said, barrel roll through it. You kind of have to become like a soldier in your walk. You've kind of got to understand that this reality right now is what it is. It's like the fiery furnace, that 10 times fiery furnace. You feel that affliction in the air, that heaviness. It's physical, it's spiritual, and it's emotional. Okay, and it's real. Whether right now it's so real, whether you deal with something like I do or not. But because I've dealt with it, I could validate this is bad. So as part of like being a soldier in your walk, you want to practice love on yourself. You want to have a routine daily, even if you have nowhere to go. You want to try to get your biological clock on track. You want to try to go to bed at the same time, and you want to try to wake up at the same time. So uh, you also want to try to maintain a decent diet. It may not look brilliant when you're barely able to function, but you want to maintain as good a self-care as you can. So and out of love, not out of duty, you know, and and it may not always be the healthiest food, but you want to do your best uh, in this low energy rather than nothing at all. So, kind of get up out of bed, even if you don't feel like it. Throw your body into motion, even if it hurts. Know that some of the pain passes if you get moving within like 10 or 20 minutes. Keep the healthy diet. Try to get to bed on time and wake up at the same time every morning. Uh, Hold yourself accountable to keep your clothes clean. Have a good hygiene ritual. Try to cut your nails. Try to shave. Try to take care of yourself as if nothing were wrong, you know, and do it out of love towards yourself. Um, and use it to kind of, I always like old people furniture walk. They just grab onto whatever they can. And when you're emotionally trying to survive and spiritually, because we're all in this oven together, you might need to kind of like emotionally furniture walk. You may need, to grab onto things. And just by being willing to get up every day and throw yourself into motion to get your sleeping cycles under control, and to try to be mindful of what you're eating, because you are the temple of God, and you want to feel good. You don't want to crash your blood sugar or anything if you could help it. You don't want to drink too much caffeine and be driven with the wrong type of energy. And you want to spend some time in nature. You want to go for walks. I know I have to have intense exercise, so I run a lot. And I walk the dog and I walk my basset hound. Um, Use your home if you have one, or your apartment as part of your routine. Clean it. Do chores. Maintain garbage and recycling, and use that stuff if you're struggling right now as a reason to live, even if it's just that stuff. Um, and know this too shall pass, but that it's real, and I could validate that it's some of the worst energy and spiritual warfare I've ever felt in my life, and I'm going through it. I complain I'm alone, but we're never alone. I have a basset hound, and um, but it's tough, and I wanted to get on here, validate you on it being tough, and try to give you some of what I do. Practice gratitude, for small things. Know we're in the furnace of affliction right now in more ways than one, but we're not in it alone. Even if you feel alone, you're never alone. And so you want to go kind of in warrior mode, kind of like Lion of the tribe of Judah, you know, uh, and know that, you know, it's better to rise than back down to this energy, and to do everything in love as best you can, um, starting with yourself. Okay, so with that said, God bless.